Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another Hui Aloha Aila call. And today's a little different. We're meeting a little earlier because me, Klinohe, and Noel decided that today was going to be our waterfall day, meaning that we were all going to take a class and do them back to back. So I invite you guys to, after this one is done, Noel is hosting Essential Oils 101, and I'll have Linz, if you can put the link of that class in the chat, that'd be great. And then you guys can jump onto that one after. And then at 1 o'clock, we're actually doing a biz overview for anyone that's interested. So Kaminohe just finished up 10 a.m. She had an essential essential energy class, which was amazing and really, really well received. So today we are gonna be opening with the fungal, guys. So I'm sure if you guys followed me on Instagram, I had posted about a week or so ago that my daughter, my little 1.5-year-old, she had a nasty fungal infection a couple weeks ago. And so what started off as like little red dots, which I thought were like mosquito bites. I'm allergic to mosquitoes. So whenever I get a bite, it kind of swells up really bad. But for her, they weren't going away. And I noticed that they were spreading to other parts of her body. We had ruled out anything that had been, an allergic reaction to mosquitoes or even like any kind of bug bite. We didn't think that it was eczema. It just looked a little different. My sister has suffers from eczema sometimes. She actually has flare-ups once in a while, but has gotten it under control. And so it didn't look like that. It was just the circles were red and they were almost too perfectly round. So I was like, oh no, is it ringworm? Kids at that age, they're putting everything in their mouth, and things that they shouldn't be putting in their mouth always happen. So I was kind of monitoring it. We did put some essential oils on it, but it got to a point where, and I actually have some pictures for you guys. It got to a point where you see these little circles here, where it started getting a little bit more red. That was just a cut. But like this one was kind of big, and and they were really red, like these ones. And so we were just getting a little worried about it. So we went to the doctors. We have a naturopath. Her name is Lori Kimata, that she just pretty much treats. She's our midwife, but she's also a naturopathic doctor. So we went to see one of her associates in her clinic, and sure enough, it was a fungal infection. She couldn't say that it was exactly ringworm, but it was fungus, and we knew what we were dealing with and what we were going to fight. So if any of you guys have any questions while we're talking about this specific subject, please chat in or even unmute yourself. This is going to be really like talk story. I'm just going to kind of talk about our journey and what happened there, because I know a lot of you, with kids and even with ourselves, just having these tools and this education is really important to be able to know how to counter these types of infections. So I am going to share my screen once again, and we are going to be going into it a little bit and getting some education on. So, okay, so before we can talk about fungus, we are going to talk about more of the bigger picture. So, but first, what is Candida? So for those of you who know about Candida, it is a type of yeast that grows on the warm interior membranes of the body, such as the digestive, respiratory, gastrointestinal, and female tracts. Candidiasis, Miho, please tell me if I'm saying this wrong. Candidiasis is the overgrowth of this Candida. So Candida isn't necessarily bad, right? But this candidiasis, it happens when there's imbalance between healthy candida organisms and helpful bacteria in the gut and the digestive tract. So there's an imbalance there. And so when this type of candida mutation does happen, it can cause frustrating and possibly dangerous conditions in the body. So from here, you'll hear about UTIs, you'll hear about ringworm, fungal infections. It can even go into, like gut health, and stress has a big part of this too. I do want to say that I truly believe that this all links back to our gut and to our health and what we're putting into our bodies, our oxidative stress levels as well. So making sure that, we're taking care of ourselves on an emotional level, not just a physical level too. So candida, this is kind of the backstory of fungus. So candida is a common cause of most fungal infections. And so I kind of went into this as this is what we were dealing with. If you guys have your Essential Life book, there's a huge section on candida, and it is so beneficial. I actually use a lot of that for my research while I was dealing with this on my daughter and putting this presentation together. So here are some of the essential oils and the support that we did. So I'm gonna break these down, but if you want to screenshot this, or if you want to just make a mental note of this, we did a number of topical. So these are what our topical oils look like. We did a number of internal. So these are internal. And then here, this bentonite clay and this ACV. This was another topical, but it was more so as a paste. So essential oils and our support. So to start off, why probiotics? So probiotics are live bacteria and yeasts that are good for your health, especially your digestive system. We usually think of these as germs that cause diseases, but actually your body is full of bacteria, both good and bad bacteria, and probiotics are often called good or helpful bacteria because they keep our gut healthy. Taking a probiotic is one of the most effective ways to restore your gut flora, which is what we were just talking about, in turn fighting against fungal infections. Side note, for all you nursing mamas, probiotics cannot actually be transferred through your breast milk, so baby must be able to take this on their own. Our midwife actually told us this. I had no idea because I was loading up on probiotics for myself and not thinking that, or thinking that it would be able to be transferred. But an easy way to do that, if you have the powder, you can just put a little bit on your nipple, and then when baby drinks milk, it's like an easy way to do that. doTERRA also makes awesome little small satchels, I think that's what they call it, of it's a kids probiotic. So it's especially blended for kids' guts. And that one is called the PB Assist Junior. And so it comes in like a little box with these little satchels that you can, they're really easy to travel with. And my son loves them. He's 8. They're like pixie sticks, and they're not made with sugar. Actually, they're made with xylitol. So yeah, probiotics. This is one of the first things that when we sat down with our naturopath was our course of health and healing was first things first. We need to take care of our gut inside out. So we got her on probiotics, and we're doing that twice a day. The other thing that we did was grapefruit seed extract. So if you saw in that first picture, that was that bottle. And so grapefruit seed extract, if you guys, GSE is what it's also known as. If you guys have heard of this, it is potent stuff. And so this GSE, it possesses some major antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobial, and antifungal properties, and fights candida. It helps kill antibiotic-resistant UTIs. It remedies fungal infections, what we were dealing with. It relieves athlete's foot because that's a type of fungus, nail fungus, digestive disturbances associated with eczema as well. So GSE is really bitter. And so what we did was we mixed it with our probiotic in almond milk. Or you can do it in juice too. But it'll just kind of take away that bitter taste, because I don't think once kids taste that, it's going to be really hard for you to give them anything else. So grapefruit seed extract. This one I got at just a health food store. You can ask any of the clerks there. They should be really helpful with helping you find. I know the ones at Whole Foods, they actually have specific people for that body section, so they can help you figure out which ones are best. Okay, so that's grapefruit seed. Bentonite clay. Just had it. Where'd it go? I kicked it here. Oh, it's on the ground. Okay, bentonite clay. This is my favorite. So, side note, bentonite clay. Actually, I'm gonna grab it. Okay, one second. Sorry, guys. So bentonite clay. This is the one that I used. It's called Soap Girl from Dallas, Texas. From the earth to your skin. This one is sold at Whole Foods. You can get them at any health food store. And so it's just like a white, can you even see that? It's like a white powder. And so what bentonite clay is, it's actually ash from volcanoes. And the largest source of bentonite clay is found in Benton, Wyoming. And that is why it's called bentonite. This one is harvested in Nevada. But when you're looking for clay, you just want to make sure that where you're getting it from is actually a legit source and not just some random Chinese, So this one's made in the USA, harvested in the USA, so it's great. And so bentonite clay is really unique in that it has the ability to extract toxins. So when charged with water, when hydrated, it actually has and produces an electrical charge. So upon contact with any fluid, its electrical components change, giving it the ability to absorb these toxins. So bentonite is known for its ability to absorb, remove heavy metals, impurities, toxins, and chemicals. And so I was just saying, my backstory was that when my son, who is 8 now, he was actually like 2 or 3, he had a crazy sore on his leg, and it was a mosquito bite that he just kept picking at. Our kids with their dirty fingernails kept picking at it. It was in a weird place. So it was like behind his leg. So I didn't see it right away until he started complaining about it. And so when I saw it, it was already to the point where it was pretty infected. Took him to the doctor. It was impetigo, which is I think it's a bacterial infection. I know a lot of kids get it. It's pretty easy to treat, but I was freaking out because I was, that's my first kid and I didn't know what I was doing. Plus I was pretty new to oils, so I didn't really know, how to treat it. And the doctor we were going to, he was just like he was a brand new doctor, and he was just trying his best to tell me anything and everything that he knew. Super overwhelming. And it was in like this urgent care clinic. So he was prescribing all these different things, and I just didn't trust what he was telling me. And so, like crazy, good, not crazy, but like moms do, it's always the Google to the rescue. And so I went online and I kind of, what is the best treatment for impetigo, wellnessmama.com, Dr. Axe helped me out. And so I found that bentonite clay was one of the top things recommended. And so that was my first experience with it. And honestly, guys, within I don't even think I use essential oils. I think I just did bentonite clay, hydrated with apple cider vinegar on his sore under a Band-Aid, and I just wrapped his leg for 4 or 5 days. And the infection almost went away immediately within the first day. It was crazy. And you could see the Band-Aid and what was left of the clay. And it just looked like all these toxins were being lifted out of his leg. So from then on, I just was so in love with this clay. And use it even on myself for like facial masks because, you know, it just helps remove all the toxins. You can make it into a bath soak, which we'll talk about after too. So here are some of the antifungal oils that we used. So there are a lot. If you have your Central Life book on page 451, it actually gives you a whole list of antifungal, which is probably the most oils for that section besides antibacterial. There's about 20 or so oils that are strictly antifungals. So these were our heavy hitters when we started treating Ihi's fungal infection. And it was crazy because we actually ITOV'd her, and ITOV is that little bioelectric scan that comes back with the oils that your body is needing right then and there. So when we ITOV'd her, it pulled up Melaleuca right away. And so I knew that we were on the right track with that. Melaleuca, oregano, and copaiba are really heavy in antibacterial properties. And so what we did was we did a Melaleuca and oregano spray with fractionated coconut oil and a little bit of neem oil too. So doTERRA doesn't have neem, but I got a really good brand that I found that well, as good as it can be at the natural food store, and just used a little bit of it. And fair warning, neem is really stinky. So if your kid is fighting a fungal infection and you're using neem oil, just be prepared to smell like onions and garlic for a long, long time because it's pretty potent, but it is potent in its abilities to treat fungus as well. So I don't know, where are we with, oh, hair. Okay, wait. So I'm gonna exit out of here. I'll share my protocol at the end. But does anyone have any questions so far? I'm kind of like whipping through this. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to say too is that with fungal infections, or any kind of candida, when you eat high amounts of sugar, it actually feeds that fungus. And so one of the things that we did was take out all sugars from her diet, which was so hard, right? Because this was including fruits too, guys. So we just stayed away from fruits. We stayed away from, I mean, she doesn't really eat too much processed things at all. But even if there was sugars in like oatmeal or like cereals, I think the only thing we did do was a little bit of honey to sweeten, or yeah, honey. But no pasta or carbs too. Yep, totally. Linz, do you have anything to add? I know you were kind of like witnessing everything happening with what was going on. Linz actually came with me to the Haleiwa appointment, and when we found out that what she had was the fungal infection.
Yeah, here she is. I witnessed the worst part of the rash is definitely being aggravated by her diapers too, you know, so like she was in a super high vulnerable like mode, and she was scratching, so that's really what caused the spread, I think, so fast. When you said like the main cause of this is from like them putting so much stuff in their mouths, it's so true. Like when she was in this high sensitivity mode, I caught her sucking on the lawnmower handle, you know, so it's so true that these kids are so vulnerable to these, okay, she's not letting me talk, but hey, here, you want the golf ball? It got so much better though after you started doing this regimen, but you got to stay true to the regimen. You got to keep doing it, fighting it internally, and you know, just I've been resending that all your remedies to a lot of people because there's a lot of kids that are going through this right now, like a lot of these skin issues that are popping up. So so yeah, it's so much better. It just looks like she's a little Dalmatian now, but it's even the spots are going away. Yeah.
So to add to that, thanks sis. So we got the diagnosis of it being a fungal infection, and our naturopath actually said, you know, it's not going to clear for a few weeks, or it's going to clear within like 3 to 4 weeks. And so I was prepared for that. I'm like, okay, that's fine, like whatever she needs. And literally this protocol that we did, she was redness free after 1 week. And now we're just dealing with the little white spots. So it's like the dead fungus. She looks like a little Dalmatian, but we call her our little Kiko Kiko girl. And she, she's not bothered anymore. We did have to, we were doing cloth diapering. And so we did stop the cloth diapering just because it was a little much on her body. And it was easier for us to contain the infection by using disposables, just in case, you know, it gets caught on the diaper lining and we wash it and it doesn't go away. So we stopped the cloth diapering for a little bit to do the disposables, which really, really helped get rid of it faster. And so I wanted to share the protocol with you guys, because this is seriously what, oh wait, I know I was gonna say one more thing. Oops. No, I'm not sharing screen. Okay, I guess I'm sharing screen. So the last thing is that we use apple cider vinegar to mix with the bentonite clay, and that actually makes a better paste. And apple cider vinegar is really great for your skin too. But we use that to make the paste for her, and we just kind of put it all over her body. And this it made a better paste than when you just mix it with water. It stayed on, it wasn't as chalky. And yeah, wait, let me just pull up this. I'll show you this funny picture really quick. So we had apple cider vinegar and bentonite clay all over her body. So that was her every afternoon. Oops. This was her every afternoon. I don't know if you guys can see it, but she was allowed to just hang out. And I think every kid's dream is to like have crap all over their skin. So she looks like a little mud monster. But we would do this so wherever you saw the clay, this was like a little spot. So it was seriously all over her body. It was even on her cheeks and on her chin. So yeah, this is what the clay looked like for her, little girl. Okay, the last part is going to be my protocol or my regimen that we kind of put together, especially for just what she was dealing with and what she could handle. If you have older kids, then obviously this is going to be a little bit different, because their probiotics would be a little bit more, or grapefruit seed extract would be a little bit more. You're not doing the diaper change. So for kids that are closer to her age, I would totally recommend this. So in the morning, our protocol was a teaspoon of the kids' probiotic, which we also got at the natural food store, 3 drops of the grapefruit seed extract, and it was in almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. And then we did 1 drop of copaiba under the tongue. So if your kids don't like essential oils in their mouth, you can always add it to the almond milk, but he just like will bring me an oil and open her mouth, and like a little bird asked me to give it to her. So this was pretty easy, the copaiba under the tongue. If any of you have tried copaiba, it tastes so good, super, super sweet. Not super sweet, but there's not really a crazy back taste to it or anything. Midday, we did the bentonite clay and apple cider vinegar paste, like you saw in the picture. We did that for 20 minutes, and then we just hosed her down. You can throw them in the bathtub, but she got to play water while we were doing it, and it wasn't a crazy fight with her to have to bathe. And then our nighttime routine was those 2 scoops of bentonite clay in the bath. And so this one you don't need to add the ACV. If you want, you can. But we just did it right in her bath, and she got to play. And then 1 teaspoon of the kids' probiotic with a grapefruit seed extract, 1 drop of the copaiba under the tongue right before bedtime. And then every diaper change, and I think this was the heavy hitter, was that I was on it with the spray. And so we did the mixture of melaleuca, oregano, neem oil, and FCO. And so in a 2-ounce spray bottle, it should last you for a while. That one is going to be, I think we did 3 drops melaleuca, 2 drops oregano, 3 drops of neem oil, and then fill the rest with FCO. I think, yeah, feel free to take a copy of this protocol too. And if anyone has anything to add, if you guys have gone through something like this and have found really awesome remedies, please share, because the more we share, the more educated we get with all of this. And, you know, the fear isn't going to be there as much. You know, when I first thought about dealing with any kind of infections without antibiotics or like Western medicine, it kind of got me scared, because we're always in that mindset that, oh, that's just going to be our out, right? But that's not always the best way. It actually causes more damage than it does good, and it's a quick fix. And so with this, we haven't saw any red flare-ups. We still continue the probiotics. We just do it once a day instead of twice. And we still do the grapeseed fruit extract. And it's just really nice to get into a good regimen with your kids early on. And so they're learning how to be self-healers and taking care of their own bodies too. So I think we had a question. What about thrush on a newborn? I haven't personally dealt with thrush. Thrush is definitely a type of candida though. I know one of my friends had thrush with her baby, and who was it though? And she did probiotics on her. Oh, you, Joanna. Oh, that's right, Joanna, you did it. Are you still going through that, Joe? Can you unmute yourself and talk? That's right. We made her a mix of Olena and coconut oil, because baby is still, he's what, 2 months, 3 months?
He's 4 months.
4 months.
So we've been doing Olana and coconut oil rubbing in his mouth, and then some on me, and it's going away slowly.
Okay.
I'm taking probiotics. I got probiotics for him. I just do 1 drop just because I don't want to double up on it.
He's little.
Yeah, because he's little. Sorry. We're still going through it. It's not done yet.
Okay.
But it's getting better.
Awesome. Ui, how old is baby again? I know melaleuca and lavender can help, but do you think that will help if mom takes internally? Yeah, definitely. You can totally try it. If you're still breastfeeding, melaleuca and lavender internally, or even have you been taking, she's 6 weeks. She's still super little. Yeah, and even adding copaiba into that, like taking copaiba internally for you too, would be really great. That's already like part of my routine, no matter what, is I do 2 drops in the morning and 2 drops at night. And honestly, whenever I can remember. There was one of my friend did, because thrush can be both ways, right? So it's in baby's mouth, and it can also get transferred onto you, right? Yeah. Maybe in between feedings, you can try and do like an antifungal on the affected areas with coconut oil, and then just before baby eats, just make sure that you wipe it off so it's not burning her mouth. Would be good. Yeah. If you have the Essential Life book, they give you a whole list of antifungals, and if not, then we can connect after this and I can give you it too. But oregano is a huge one. I don't know if you would want to really dilute oregano down if you're going to be putting that on you. But oregano or melaleuca, geranium is an antifungal. What am bergamot, cassia, cedarwood, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and fennel. Oh, fennel. Maybe do fennel. Internal. Ginger, grapefruit, helichrysum, lavender, lemon, lemongrass. Yeah. Rosemary, spearmint, tangerine, no, not tangerine. Spikenard, thyme, and wild orange. I think that's where it started overnight. I leak and then feed half asleep. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, try that. Let me know how that happens. Yeah, that's a good point too, Joe, like changing out your nursing pads and bras just in case. Does anyone else have any questions? I hope you enjoyed that. Actually, I had fun putting that together. Because it was like one of the first things that we did, and I just got really orange. We did, and it worked really well. We kind of just trusted our gut, kind of did a little bit of research on everything, and everything fell together really, really well. But yeah, there's no questions. Let me know. Thanks for sharing. Yes, no problem. Lynn, do you think you could put the link to Noelle's class? If not, I can go and grab it. In a half an hour, we're going to be having an Essential Oils 101 with Aina Oils. And you folks are welcomed to jump in on that. Noelle will be hosting it. Or Noelle, can you put it in real fast? Do you have it on you? It's also in the link in her profile on her Instagram, guys, at Aina Oils. Perfect. So copy paste that guy into it. Oh, thanks, Mocha. Oh, perfect. Hui, if you have the essential oils for pregnancy, birth, and babies, 152 has a bunch of info. I honestly recommend this book for everything, even if you're planning on getting pregnant or you're not pregnant yet or you already have 5 kids. Like, it's such a good book. And they keep coming out with like newer additions to yeah, and it's available on, I believe Aroma Tools has it, and Amazon definitely has it for like $15 or something. Okay, guys, mahalo nui for a nice short and sweet class. We'll see you soon. Next week, we're doing classroom makeover. 12 o'clock, be there. All you teachers, invite your teacher friends. Invite your kids' teachers to come to it too. It's on their lunch break at noon. We're gonna do how to do a healthy classroom makeover next week at 12 p.m. Tuesday.